It's strangely quiet.
You see these red signs with the skull on them.
So you'll be walking, within 1 foot of a landmine.
They would say, this thing goes off, everybody dies.
Everyone has been affected by landmines in Angola. It's ever present.
Angola is one of the most heavily mined areas still in the world.
So we went to Angola to take a look at the technology behind landmine removal.
We were picked up in an armored Land Rover by the Halo Trust.
We've been here since 1994, whilst the war was going on, and people were suffering right the way through to the present day when people are still suffering. Our focus is just to get the mines out of the ground so they're no longer there.
Right now we're at about hour 5 of a 9-hour car ride to Quito, Carnaval.
Angolans refer to as the end of the earth.
Carnaval is a place of huge importance to Angolans. There was a major battle that was fought. At the height of the Cold War, Angolans confronted apartheid South Africa. At that time, mine laying was a normal method of warfare. We call Carnaval the most mined town in Africa.
Okay guys, we're going to head into the minefield now. What have we got here? PN1s, so Cuban mines here. Anti-personnel mines, yeah.
A lot of the really high-tech stuff is in the surveying process. A big tool is Google Earth. The way it works is first they'll send out a team of surveyors. They'll talk to townspeople about where these mines are. They'll clock in GPS points to create a map.
This map of Quito Carnaval shows how the whole town is surrounded by gigantic minefields. There's still nearby like a big L-shaped minefield that's 30 kilometers long that is just sitting there.
To take out a landmine is really grueling, intense work.
People are kneeling on the ground. They have a bucket of tools. They're on their hands and knees with a handheld metal detector kind of slowly moving across this piece of wood. It's literally inch by inch.
If they hear any sounds of metal, they start excavating.
What I would do now is excavate a trench this shape, 20 centimeters wide, down to 15 centimeters. And when I get to 15 centimeters, then I'll move forward, scraping this front wall of my trench.
The approach is to try to get to the mine from the side, because if you touch the top, it'll explode.
We're scraping very carefully, okay, metal on metal, okay, making me suspicious. Okay, section commander, I think I found a mine.
When a mine is excavated before it's detonated, they're marked with little sticks that are painted red on top. In the landmine fields we visited, there's just red sticks, every few feet, and just one wrong step could be catastrophic.
In the second minefield, there were a bunch of IEDs. The people we were with were kind of just like looking down at the mines and like scraping them to see what was on there.
So that's one of the stake mines, and underneath we've got some blocks of TNT.
This is a South African tank. We are advancing this direction toward Quito Carnaval town. There was a dense mine line around here, so they got stuck here.
So you can see this has been absolutely devastated, like the top has been like ripped off, tracks have been totally torn off.
We also visited a landmine field that has been completely demined in the city called Wambo. And that is where Princess Diana walked 20 years ago this year. If you look at old pictures of her walking in the field, you can see those typical red painted sticks along the side of the road showing where there's landmines. And today there's a school there, there's homes, there's kids playing in the street. It's completely different.
At the Halo compound in Wambo, they have basically their office room. It's a mapping room where their computers are. And the countrywide map has red and green dots all over it showing all the known minefields. And the green ones have been cleared of mines and turned back over to the communities. They've done a ton of work, but there's still a lot of work to do.
Currently there's no robots or giant machines that can go in there and just take out all the landmines. There's really no silver bullet. The main thing is boots on the ground. They need people in there doing this exacting, slow work.
Today is the last day of the mining in Cuito Carnaval, and unfortunately we're having to close the program after this due to a lack of funding. That means that we have to walk away from this minefield, which still has many more mines to be cleared and which still presents a risk to the safety of people living in this area.